Hello everybody, I decided to make another video. I've sort of known this for a little while, but you know, there's so many other things to do that I don't get around to always doing everything I remember, or I just don't remember to do everything. But we played this video tonight and I just feel apparent that I have to say a few things that are in there because we're so mind controlled that we don't even realise what we're listening to. Now there are three parts to this. There is the first part, the second part and the third part. So here we go. This is the first part to what is being said. Listen to what is being said.
But the ultimate and most dangerous test was a huge, specially constructed vacuum chamber.
They were able to pull all the air out, create a big vacuum, just like it would be on the moon. That way we could test our suits to make sure that...
So, we'll just hear that again. Take everything out to make the same conditions that are on the moon. The same. Well, I've got videos that I've watched of astronauts supposedly in a vacuum chamber and they're just walking around. So where do they get the bouncing bit from? Where does all that come from? Because that doesn't happen. And you're going to see this astronaut in here, in this vacuum chamber. He's not starting to float everywhere. Anyway, the next bit, listen to what's said.
They were able to pull all the air out, create a big vacuum, just like it would be on the moon. That way we could test our suits to make sure there was no leakage. They were able to pull all the air out, create a big vacuum, just like it would be on the moon. That way we could test our suits to make sure there was no leakage. They were able to pull all the air out, create a big vacuum, just like it would be on the moon. That way we could test our suits to make sure there was no leakage.
One such test narrowly avoided disaster. Jim LeBlanc was the test subject in the vacuum chamber. Cliff Hess, the supervising engineer outside.
Jim, while you're exercising, I'd like you to stay intermediate all the time, okay? I'm pretty cool right now. Okay, well, you'll warm up here in a minute, so let's stay right here if you can stand it. I'd like you...
Did you hear that? Did you hear what he said to him? Let's stay here to see how long you can handle it.
I'd like you to stay intermediate all the time, okay? I'm pretty cool right now. Okay, well, you'll warm up here in a minute, so let's stay right here if you can stand it. Cool right now. Okay, well, you'll warm up here in a minute, so let's stay right here if you can stand it.
If you can
Test
stand
started
it.
just normally, like they all do.
With all the air sucked out, all that protected him was his pressurized suit. Then something happened.
I heard over the headset that he was losing suit pressure.
The tube pressurizing his suit had become disconnected.
Yeah, right.
He was in serious danger.
There really wasn't any feeling. It was just happening so fast, trying to get the chamber back to a safe pressure and Jim to a safe pressure inside the suit.
As I stumbled back,
Where's his bouncing?
I could feel the saliva on my tongue starting to bubble.
No bouncing, is there? He's not exactly floating, is he?
I could feel the saliva on my tongue starting to bubble.
He didn't bounce up,
Just
did he?
before I went unconscious. I mean, that's kind of the last thing I remember.
Essentially, he had no pressure on the outside of his body, and that's a very unusual case to get, and there's very little in the medical literature as to what happens when you have that. There's a lot of conjecture, that your fluids will boil.
So my point being that, so the conditions in here were set up so they were the same for the moon. They said they were doing this to check out the state of the suits to see if they worked. They are lying that a tube came off and he became disorientated like that. And when he's in there, he says when he's passing out that he feels like the saliva on the back of his throat is bubbling. And not just that, he's not bouncing around, is he? He's not bouncing around at all. So this whole thing is just one dirty, great big lie from the beginning to the end. Anyway, that was my point. Thanks for watching.